Aloha and welcome to Breath and Flow Yoga. My name is Katie and my assistant here is Bradley. He will be making sure all of my downward dogs and upward dogs look proper form today. So today all you're going to need is your mat. If you would like something comfortable to sit on like a pillow or a blanket like I am here, go ahead and grab that and get ready to start our breath and flow practice. Today we're going to be working on our breath work that allows us to ground ourselves and get a bit more peace in our day. So we're going to be focusing more on our exhale breath than our inhale breath. So creating a longer exhale, allowing us to get more of a grounded sensation through the body. Our flow today will be a little mandala flow, and we're just going to get moving around the mat, let our shoulders and hips open, and then have a nice little cool down. So let's get started. Go ahead and sit on your pillow, your mat, whatever is comfortable for you. Cross-legged, half lotus, full lotus, whatever is comfortable. Sit down on your mat, let your palms face down on your thighs, and let's close our eyes together. So just trust the sound of my voice as I lead you through this instruction so that you can keep your eyes closed and really bring yourself into the present moment, turning off all distractions, letting yourself focus here and now. And let's begin to align that spine. So sit back in towards your sits bones. Kind of scoot in towards your mat, maybe ground down into those hips, wiggle your hips into the earth below. And then begin to feel your low belly pull up and in as you lengthen your spine. Feel your heart begin to lift up as you lift just slightly through your chin, taking your chin parallel with the earth. And begin to loosen those shoulders up. So maybe you circle them side to side, one at a time or together, front to back, and just kind of let those shoulders go as you take one ear to one shoulder, opposite ear to opposite shoulder, and just lengthen through the sides of the neck. Just remove any stiffness through the neck and shoulders. And let those shoulders just melt down the back once you've found that nice openness through the heart. And keep the face soft here. And just notice how the body feels in this moment. So become an observer of your physical self. So it's as if you are looking at the body from the outside in and just noticing where you are at in this moment. And let's do that same thing with the mind. Notice if there's any excess chit-chat going on in the brain. Just take this time to unpack those thoughts. Leave them one by one outside of this space. And let's begin to breathe. So to start, let's just inhale in and out through the nose. Naturally observe the breath. So as you inhale in through the nose, just notice how deep that breath is. And when you exhale out, notice how much your natural exhale matches your inhale. So just breathe naturally in and out through the nose. And then let's begin to control that breath. So let's create a longer inhale in through the nose, deep into the belly. So direct your breath all the way down to your base. Big inhale. And let that breath exhale just as even as it came in. So equal inhale, equal exhale to start. In and out through the nose. Good. Let's inhale that breath all the way down to the base of the belly. Fill the lungs, all the way up to the top of your throat. Big breath. And then exhale, release that breath completely out through the nose. Let everything release. Let the belly retract back towards your spine. 2 more times like that. Inhale in. Belly expands, chest expands, heart lifts. Big breath. And let that breath go just as evenly as it came in. Let it smoothly release from the belly. 1 more time. Inhale deep into the belly. Deep into the rib cage, open through the heart, big breath, and match that exhale breath out. Good. So now we're going to make our exhales longer than our inhales. As you inhale in, deep breath into the base of your belly. So inhale in to the count of 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale to the count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pause. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Pause. Continue that breath on your own. Internally count. Allow your inhales to be about 5 seconds long, deep into your belly, and your exhales to be about 7 seconds long. And let that fully release everything out. You can pause in between your inhales and exhales, noticing the control of the breath, how that affects the mind and body. Take about 2 to 3 more rounds on your own. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Last one. Stay with it. Beautiful concentration, guys. Stay here. Nice job. Let's come back into our equal Ujjayi breathing, our victorious oceanic sound in the back of the throat. Inhaling in through the nose and out through the nose. You can continue to keep that longer exhale if you wish, or just have that even inhale and exhale out and in through the nose. Let's begin to move with our breath. Inhale. Let's reach our arms up to the sky, extend up high, look up, create length. Now as you exhale, let's bend those elbows, drop your head back, lift through your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Now as you exhale, let's twist to the right. Take your right hand down to the earth behind you, left hand to the top of your right knee. Roll your right shoulder back, sit up tall. Let your exhale breath twist you even deeper. Look out past your right shoulder. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky, look up, lengthen. As you exhale, let's twist to the left. Left hand down to the earth behind you, right hand to the top of your left knee. Roll your left shoulder back, sit up tall, pull your low belly in. Let your exhale breath twist you even deeper. Inhale, back through center, reach your arms up to the sky, extend up. Now as you exhale, let's baby back bend. Bend those elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, look up. Now this time as you exhale, let's just swing our right arm under our left. Grab a hold of opposite shoulder. So you're giving yourself a nice bear hug. Squeeze down in towards your belly, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift through the heart, look up. And exhale, curl in, chin towards your chest, squeeze in through the belly. Inhale one more time, lift up through the heart, look up. And exhale, squeeze in, tuck your chin. Inhale, just reach your arms up to the sky. We'll switch the direction of the arms. So take your left arm underneath, right arm on top. Give yourself a nice hug. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, curl and tuck your chin. We're going to move through that 3 times. Inhale, open through the heart towards the sky. Keep your hands where they are. Exhale, curl in, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift your chest, shoulders back, look up. And exhale, curl in. Good. Inhale, just reach your arms up to the sky. Reach up high. And now as you exhale, take your hands down by your sides. Unravel your legs, and you can move your pillow to the side. And we'll come on to our mat. We'll all meet in a tabletop position. So Bradley, you're gonna have to move a little bit, honey. Come in, good boy. Good, so we're gonna come into our tabletop position. Shoulders right over the wrists, hips over the knees. And just gaze down between your thumbs, spread your fingers wide. As you inhale, we're gonna move into our cat-cow breathing. Inhale, open your shoulders back, tailbone high, look up to the sky. And as you exhale, curl back up and in cat pose. Tuck your chin, arch your spine, look back between those legs. Inhale for cow, shoulders back, tailbone high, look up. And exhale, cat pose, curl up and in, tuck your chin. Good, 2 more times. Inhale, open your shoulders back, look up. Exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin. 1 more, inhale. Open your chest forward, roll those shoulders back, look up. Exhale, curl up and in, pull in through your belly. Nice job. Let's come back through a neutral spine. Gaze down between your thumbs. Take an inhale breath. Now as you exhale, begin to crawl your hands forward, melt your heart down towards the earth. Puppy dog pose, Anahatanasana. Gaze forward, let your shoulders peel back as you look out in front of you. So eventually your chin and chest will be on the earth as you really open these shoulders, open your heart down, let your tailbone tilt high. As you take your next inhale, let's shift forward onto our forearms. Slide your knees back, pull your heart through for Sphinx pose. So your elbows are just slightly in front of your shoulders, palms down. Create that nice traction through your forearms. Begin to lift through your heart as your shoulders roll back. Gaze straight out in front of you. Exhale, let's lower our chest down. Tense your hands to the outside of your mat. And we're just gonna roll up and down. So roll your shoulders back, press up, gently lift, and slowly cascade the spine down as you lower. Good, inhale, we're gonna lift up. So tuck your chin, head and neck will come up last. Lift up through your heart, and then cascade all the way back down. Good, 2 more like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Good, it's like creating a wave-like motion with your spine. Last one, lift up. And lower down. Good, nice. Let's take our hands right under our shoulders. Press your hips back towards your heels. Take your toes together, knees apart. We're just gonna come into a quick child's pose here. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Let your hips press back towards your heels. Feel a nice stretch through the low spine. Now as you take your next inhale, lift up just slightly through the heart. Take your right arm and reach it underneath your left shoulder. So you're reaching all the way out to the left. Reach your left arm forward as you kind of melt your heart towards your right bicep. You should feel a nice stretch through the back of the right shoulder. Relax your head and neck towards the earth. Good, let's inhale. Take that right arm straight back forward, switching sides. Take your left arm to extend over to the right as you reach your right arm forward. Square your shoulders off, press your hips back towards your heels. Relax through your head and neck. Feel a nice stretch through that left shoulder. Press your hips back towards your heels. Beautiful job. Inhale. Let's take our left arm back forward through child's pose. Relax your head and neck. Inhale, shift forward, tabletop. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips to heels, downward facing dog. So we're just coming into our first downward dog of the class. So you can pedal those feet side to side. Just work in towards your legs. Relax through your head and neck. Maybe even shake it out, yes and no. This might be your first downward dog that you've done all day today. So really feel into the feet, feel into the arms, the legs, the backs of the legs. Let the head and neck dangle down between the biceps. And once you settle into your downward dog, hands are about shoulders width distance. You really want to ground through those hands as you wrap the shoulders down your back and your hips press towards the sky. Feel the backs of the legs elongate as your heels press down towards your mat. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Good. Let's gaze to the top of the mat. Begin to tiptoe your feet slow as you can all the way up until your feet come between your wrists. Bend your knees softly. And let's begin to walk our hands over to the top left corner of the mat. So just crawl your hands over. Keep your knees deeply bent. So you're going to feel a nice stretch through the right side of your rib cage and in those hamstrings. Good. Let's inhale back through center. Just crawl your hands to the center. And then crawl those hands over to the right. So you press your left hip back. So you feel a nice stretch through that left shoulder, lat, and rib cage. Relax your head and neck. Inhale back through center. And relax your head and neck down. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms. Now let's do that same motion with our hands on our elbows. Shift over towards the left so you feel a nice stretch through that right side. It'll feel a little bit different with the weight of the arms. Inhale back through center. And exhale over to the right. Same thing. Feel that left side waist. Keep your knees deeply bent so your torso rests on your thighs. Inhale back through center. Release your hands down to the earth. Tuck your chin towards your chest and begin to unravel your spine. Imagine that each vertebrae is stacking one on top of the next. Head and neck will come up last. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and let them open down your back. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Now as you exhale, baby back bend. Bend those elbows, lift through your heart, look up. Inhale, reach your arms high. Now as you exhale, let's just swan dive forward. Soften your knees, come all the way down towards the earth. Relax your head and neck, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, flat spine, reach through the crown of your head. Now as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Pause here just for a moment to engage your core and feel that alignment in the spine. Shoulders are in line with your hips. Ground through those palms. Deep breath in. Now as you exhale, let's take those knees down to the mat. Walk your hands forward for puppy dog pose. Lower your chest down, gaze forward, draw your shoulders back. Inhale, shift forward onto your forearms, slide your knees back, Sphinx pose, lift through your heart, shoulders back, look slightly in front of you. Go ahead, exhale, lower, hands tend to the outside of your mat. Inhale, let's just do this one time, lift up, tuck your chin, and cascade your spine down. Relax your head and neck. Hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, press your hips back towards your heels, and then lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. So we're going to begin to move in a mandala, but we're going to take it pretty slow today. So we won't be going one breath, one movement. It'll be about 2 breaths per pose. So let's inhale, take our right leg to the sky. Reach it up high. Bend your right knee, let your hips stack open. So you feel a nice opening through that hip. Let's take a big hip circle. So hug your right knee towards your chest. Open out to the right and around. Reach that right knee high. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Keep your left hand down. While you extend your right arm to the sky, turn your right toes out to the right and come onto the outer blade of your back heel. Good. So roll your right shoulder back. Look out past that right thumb. Keep your hips elevated up off the mat. Roll that right shoulder back so you're twisting, getting deep in those hips, open through the heart. Good. Let's take a big inhale. Right arm reaches along the horizon, all the way to the left. Let's come onto the left side of our mat. Bend your left knee. Lengthen your right leg. So you're facing the left side of your mat, hands to heart center or on the earth for your side lunge pose. Deep breath in, hips can stay in line with the heart. You can flex or take your right foot down. Deep breath here. Feel those hips open. Good. Now let's slowly, we're going to come to the back of our mat. So walk your hands over to your left foot. Lower your right knee down. Inhale for a low lunge facing the back of your mat. Lift through your heart, shoulders back. Look up to the sky. Good. Now as you exhale, let's take our hands down to the earth. Send your left knee back to meet your right. Inhale. And then exhale, just walk those hands forward, melt your chest down. Shift forward, inhale, Sphinx pose. Slide your knees back, pull your heart through, lift through the chest. Exhale, lower your heart down, tent your hands to the outside of the mat and just roll your spine up, lift through your chest, lift through your heart, and cascade your spine back down. Hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes, hips to your heels, lift your hips to the sky for downward dog. So we're going to do that one more time on your right side. So inhale, take your right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Take one big hip circle, hug your right knee in towards your chest, open out and around. Exhale, hug your right knee deep in towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Keep your left hand down. Take your right arm to reach all the way up and around as you turn all 10 toes to the right. Roll your right shoulder back. Keep your hips lifted. Good. Inhale, right arm along the horizon, same as the other side, all the way over to the right side of your mat. Bend your left knee. So you come into your side lunge, Skandasana. Hands can stay right under your shoulder or even at your heart center. Get low in those hips. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Let's inhale to the top of our mat, back to the top. Lower your right knee down. Come into our low lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Look up. Slight tuck with that tailbone as you lift through your heart. Exhale your hands down to the mat. Send your left knee back to meet the right. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, puppy dog pose. Inhale, shift forward onto your forearms. Slide your knees back, Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower your chest, tent your hands. Inhale, flow with your cobra. Come all the way up, tuck your chin, lift through your heart, and cascade your heart back down. Beautiful. Hands right under the shoulders. Tuck your toes, press your hips to your heels, and then lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. So we just completed one full mandala on the right side. Let's do that left side now. So inhale. Left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Square those shoulders off. Feel a nice opening through the hip. Now let's take that big hip circle. Hug your left knee towards your chest. Open out to the left and around. Reach that left knee high. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Right hand stays down. Left arm reaches out to the left. Turn all 10 toes to the left. So again, you're rolling that left shoulder back. Lift through your heart. Feel a nice opening through the chest. This is a deep twist and hip opener here. Feel those hips lift up high. Look out past that left thumb. Big inhale. Good, and exhale. Let's take that left arm along the horizon, out through the front of your mat, all the way to the right side of your mat. Bend your right knee. Skandasana, side lunge. Hips are in line with your shoulders. Hands can be right underneath your shoulders for support. Deep breath in. Feel that deep stretch in your hips. Deep exhale out. Get low through the hips. Good. Let's come all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, turn towards your right toes. Lower your left knee. Inhale into your low lunge. Reach your arms to the sky. Look up. Slight tuck with that tailbone. Feel a nice depth in those hips, but still ground through your right foot. Exhaling, take your hands down to the earth. Send your right knee back in line with the left. So you come into your tabletop pose. Inhale here. Exhale, puppy dog pose. Walk your hands forward. Inhale, shift forward onto your forearms. Slide your knees back. Sphinx pose. Lift through your heart. Exhale, lower your chest. Tent your hands to the outside of your mat and begin to roll up the spine. Tuck your chin, lift through your heart. And cascade your chest down. Tuck your toes behind you, hands under your shoulders, press your hips towards your heels, and lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. So one more time on the left. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Let's take that big hip circle. So hug your left knee towards your chest. Open out to the left and around. Exhaling, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Right hand stays down. Left arm opens out to the left. Turn all 10 toes. Roll your left shoulder back. Look out past that left thumb. Lift through those hips. Big breath in. Take that left arm all the way across the horizon, all the way to your right leg. Bend your right knee. Side lunge stretch Skandasana. Hips in line with those shoulders. Take a full breath here. Nice. So it's inhale to the top of the mat. Turn your right toes forward. Lower your back knee down. Inhale into your low lunge. Reach your arms up to the sky. Look up. Slight tuck with that tailbone. Exhale, hands to the earth. Send your right knee back in line with the left. Inhale in your tabletop pose. And exhale, walk your hands forward, melt your chest down, puppy dog pose. Inhale, shift forward onto your forearms. Slide your knees back, pull your heart through, Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower down. Tent your hands to the outside of your mat, roll your shoulders back, lift through your heart. And cascade all the way back down. Hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes behind you, press your hips back towards your heels, and then lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Beautiful job. So we did a full mandala on each side, and you can always feel free to repeat those and kind of just flow through them at your own pace, your own energy level. But for today, we're just going to move on to some more simple stretches through the shoulders and hips. Take a deep breath in, feel your hips rise high. Now as you exhale, let's walk our hands just a little bit closer towards our feet. So just shorten your downward dog. Feel your hips press high. So as you come into this shorter downward dog, you should feel your heels ground a little bit easier. Let's begin to take our right hand to the outside of our left shin. So grab a hold of that left calf or shin and begin to bend your right elbow. So you're pulling yourself towards that left side. Maybe you even look underneath your left shoulder. You should feel a deep stretch through the backs of the legs, through the hips, and even into the shoulder. Nice. Let's slowly release and switch sides. Take your left hand, grab a hold of your right shin. Bend deep into that left elbow. Look underneath your right shoulder. Really press into your right hand. Feel your hips rise high. Beautiful job. Let's slowly come back into our downward dog. Inhale, hips high. Good. Exhale, settle in. Now let's inhale, shift forward into a high plank pose. Take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, we're gonna lower as slow as you can down towards the earth through chaturanga. So keep your elbows pointing back. Exhale, lower down, slow as you can. Keep those elbows tight to your body. Come all the way down onto your belly. Nice job. Untuck your toes. And let's take our hands to tent to the outside of our mat. And we're gonna roll our shoulders back now this time. So you're gonna get deeper into each individual shoulder. Roll it side to side. You can even twist a little bit by dipping one shoulder down and then dip the opposite shoulder down. Get some nice dynamic movement through the thoracic spine. So you can add a little bit more here as well. If you would like to bend one knee, look back at your toes and feel a nice stretch through the quadriceps, you can do that as well. Shift sides, bend the opposite knee, look back, come up high, stay low, either way. Maybe circle into the head and neck. So stay here for one more breath. Good, let's come back through center. Take your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Right hand will come straight out to the right, palm faces down. Good, so as you ground into that left hand, begin to roll onto your right shoulder. So just slowly roll onto your right shoulder, your right side. Maybe you bend your left knee to take your left toes behind your right leg, and you should feel this deep in your right shoulder. This is a big stretch through that front of the right pectoral muscle. Feel a nice stretch even through the spine. Good, let's come back onto our belly to switch sides. So take your right hand, kind of like a cobra hand. So your right hand is right underneath that right shoulder. Left arm expands out to the left, palm faces down. So really ground into that right hand as you roll to that left shoulder. So you might just roll onto your side, and this is good right here. If you want a little bit more, you can bend your top leg and take it behind you so you can kind of maneuver a little bit more and lean more into that left shoulder. Deep breath here. In and out through the nose. Feel that opening through the chest. Keep your head and neck elevated. You want to keep the spine long. Good. Let's come back through center onto your belly. Good. So let's take our hands behind our back. Interlace your fingers. Bend your knees. Flex your feet. Gaze down. As you inhale, begin to roll your shoulders back and reach your fists back as if you're trying to reach between your calves. So lift through your heart. Reach back. Keep your thighs down and keep your knees, hips with distance. Big breath in, reach back, open the heart forward. Beautiful job, exhale, let's lower down, gaze to the right. Take your arms by your sides, backs of the hands on the earth, and you can even shimmy your hips side to side here. And just let it go. So we're gonna come into one more back bend. So you can come into the exact back bend that we just did. Hands interlaced behind your back. If that was plenty for you, stay with that level. Otherwise, if you want to move on, we're going to move into floor bow. So your knees will stay hips with distance. Keep your knees directly in line behind you. You do not want them to splay out. You want them parallel to one another. Hands grab a hold of your feet. As you inhale, begin to roll your shoulders back as you kick in towards your hands. You can lift your thighs up as you lift your heart. So you're coming into floor bow here. You can even rock forward and back and kind of massage your belly, as long as you didn't eat too recently. So begin to lift up, kick into those hands. Big breath in, stay with it. Feel that big stretch through the front side of your body. Good, and slowly begin to release all the way down. Look to the left, release your arms by your sides. And you can just shimmy your hips side to side and really let that stretch go. We just got really deep in the spine. Good. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Begin to press your hips back towards your heels. And just pause here in your child's pose as you feel your low back elongate. This should feel really nice after those back bends. Getting a nice decompression through that low back. Good, inhale, shift forward onto hands and knees. And we're just gonna cross our ankles, sit back onto our hips, scoot to about the center of your mat. Reach your arms out on either side of you. And we're gonna slowly come all the way down onto our back. Take your time. Good. Now heels right underneath your knees, right in line with those hips. Inhale, extend your right leg straight up to the sky. Take your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Right hand presses your right knee away as you draw your right shoulder down into the mat. Flex your right foot. Good, you can stay right here. If you want a little bit more in your hips, hands will interlace around the back of your left hamstring for thread the needle or reclined pigeon. Shoulders stay down, head and neck stays down. Flex that right foot so you feel that deep stretch in that right hip. Deep breath in and out through the nose. Pull that left leg close towards you. Good. Slowly begin to release the left leg. Right leg to wrap around the left. Scoot your hips center of your mat and begin to take your knees to the left, right arm to the right. So you twist your spine. It should feel nice through the low back and the outer right hip. This is a bit deeper of a twist than your traditional knees to the side. So if it feels too intense, you can always unravel the legs and just drop your knees to one side. Good. Inhale back through center. Use your core to lift your knees through center. Scoot your hips back to the center of your mat. Unravel your right leg from your left and we'll switch sides. So take your left leg, extend it straight up to the sky. Take your left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Left hand will press your left knee away as you feel that nice stretch through the hips. Good. As you're ready, if you want to go further, you can take your hands to interlace around that right thigh. Keep your shoulders relaxed down on the earth as you pull your right leg closer towards your torso. Shoulders stay relaxed down on the ground. Head and neck relaxes on the ground. You should feel that good stretch through the piriformis, through the outer hip. And this is always a great option if I'm teaching traditional pigeon, traditional half pigeon in my class. You can always come onto your back instead for this pose here. Good. Release that right leg down towards the earth. Take your left leg to wrap around your right, so you're crossing your legs. Shift your hips to the center of your mat and begin to take your knees over to the right, left arm out to the left. Decompress through your spine. Feel your shoulders press down in towards the mat. And again, if this is ever too intense in the legs, you can simply unravel the legs and take your knees to the right instead for a simple twist. This is just getting nice and deep through the low back and the outer hip. Stay connected with your breath here. Good. Use your core to take your knees back through center. Shift your hips to the center of your mat. Unravel your left leg from the right. Let's take our knees towards our chest. Give ourselves a nice squeeze. Hug it in close. And just begin to extend your legs up towards the sky. Grab a hold of the outer blades of your feet for happy baby pose. Soles of the feet towards the sky. Knees hug around your rib cage. Keep your shoulders relaxed down on the earth. If you would like to extend one leg and then the other, kind of get deep into the hamstring, side to side. You can do that as well. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Feel your knees melt on either side of your rib cage. Feel your tailbone ground in towards the earth. 2 more breaths. Good, and let's take those knees close together. Hug your knees deep in towards your chest. Take your forehead towards your knees and just curl up into a tiny little ball. So you want your forearms to wrap around your shins, forehead towards your knee. Take a big breath in, squeeze everything up and in, curl into a tiny little ball. Let's take the biggest breath that we've taken all class. So inhale deep into your belly. Hold the breath. Good, and then exhale, release everything out. Let your legs drop out, let your palms face up. Close your eyes and just come into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Now remember, you can stay in this pose as long as you wish or as long as you need. When you do come out of this pose, take it slow. If you do wish to move about with your day and you would like to begin to join me in an easy seated position at the top of the mat, begin to slowly wiggle your fingers and toes and just come in to a fetal position on either side of your mat. Take your time. Keep your eyes closed. Begin to use your hands as eyes to come up into an easy seated position in your own time. And we'll all meet with our hands at heart center. Close the eyes, bow the chin, and let's honor that light that dwells within each and every one of us. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste. So thank you so much for practicing with me. This was my breath and flow class. Next class will be on Sunday at 8 a.m. and that's more of a vinyasa flow class. And that's also going to be live here on YouTube. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell if you want to get alerts about when I go live. And you can also find more information on Katie Marie Yoga at Instagram. Thank you so much for practicing again. See you next time. Aloha.